Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coaching and Consultant Strategy and Growth Show. Now, if you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private Facebook community called High Ticket Client Attraction Insider Circle, then definitely come check us out. We'd definitely love to have you. That community was put together specifically for coaches, consultants, and service providers who are serious about getting up to that 6 and that 7-figure level. So if that's you, definitely come check us out. So with that being said, I want to introduce you to today's guest, Nomsa. Welcome, Nomsa.
Thank you so much, Extus, for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So tell us, what is it that you do?
I'm a love harmonist, but also a matchmaker, but I call myself a love harmonist because my matchmaking introduction agency helps people have one-of-a-kind connections, profoundly beautiful experiences, and lifelong memories. So the reason I call myself a love harmonist is because when someone tells me their pain, their shame, they're guilty, I have to listen to them speaking. Then I have to, because I'm also a musician, so I have to also, in my head, I have to take that story and put it in my head, and then try to write a song in my head of what they've just told me about their story, their past. And then if I write a song in my head, that means that I'm connecting with their pain. So I'm able to understand their pain, their guilt, their shame. So I'm able to actually bring everything together and help them moving forward to finding that special person that they are looking for.
That's pretty interesting. So with this, and you said, how do you said you create a song in your head?
Yes.
Is it like in real time? Like, let's say we were talking, you'd be doing it right now, or is it something you have to say, okay, you get the story first and then you go back and you create the song? How does that?
When someone is talking to me, I have to be ready. When they are talking to me, I have to listen to their story. It's like, when you go to a meeting, like as a businessman, you have a meeting, you want to win the deal. So when you go into that meeting, you just have to, basically, you have to lower yourself. Let everybody tell you about who they are, what they do. Let them tell you every information that they have in their head that you're looking for, instead of you asking questions and then they'll think, this one is not talking, is stupid. But in that meeting, they've told you everything that you want to know. So then when you're finished, it takes you 1 second to close the deal. So that's what I do with my clients. It takes me 2 minutes to close the deal, not for money, to close the deal about how can I help this pain. I'm in their head now. So I'm getting into their head. They're telling me their pain, they're guilty. First, I have to arrive early. That I'm going to give you the picture. I arrive early to the venue where we are meeting. Or maybe it might be their home. I arrive early. They're busy making me a coffee and stuff. I'm busy. They're telling me a story. I'm busy listening. I'm not telling them my story. They're busy telling me their story. I'm listening. Then they sit down. By the time they sit down, I have a song for me to write for them. So when they write for them, I know how, because I'm also a psychologist, I know how I can help them. And then I use my psychology to say, okay, this is what has not worked in the past. This is what you think you have done. And then I have to ask questions and doing everything, every attachment. But if some problems are really, really, really deep, I have coaches that I can refer them to my coaches before I can think about it, matching them.
Okay.
I have to understand the pain, and then I have to write a song for them without them knowing, and for me to help them. I mean that means I'm getting into their head. Now their story is mine and not theirs.
Okay. But you don't actually sing the song to them. So
No, I don't sing the song. But I've just, during lockdown, I've just realized that actually, I think I need to start singing the song when I'm doing the events.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do that. That's what I'm gonna do during lockdown, and that's what I've been doing. Thinking about what are the things that I'm creative that I've not been doing. So I think I'm gonna do the events. When I'm doing the events, dating events, I'm gonna just sing a song. When someone tells me their pen, I'm gonna sing a song, get their voice. So everybody has a voice. But when you meet people, they think they're not good enough. They think they don't have a voice. Uh, they think they don't deserve to have that lifestyle because they've been hurt in the past. But that's not what love is about.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, love it. So in essence, with your clients, are you working with them in person? Do you actually host live events where you bring everyone together? How does that work?
I actually work face to face. My matchmaking introduction agency is a face to face introduction agency. It's strictly offline. I work with the high end clients. I meet them in their homes, or my clients basically are men. Women are members. So I go on a date with men, and I go on a date with women, all of them before they go on a date with somebody else. I
Mm-hmm.
have to go on a date with them first, just a
Mm-hmm.
mini date,
Yeah.
evaluating everything, their character, their personality, how they are treating me on that date. That is the way that they'll be treating somebody else. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
not telling them that moment. I'm just taking notes, like writing a song, taking notes. And
Mm-hmm.
when we finish, sometimes I help them without them knowing. I don't even tell them what they're doing wrong. I just have a conversation with them and say, do you know, if instead of doing this, if you were to do this, how would that make you feel? And they're like, that will make me awesome.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this?
For 2 years.
Uh-huh. What got you started on this path?
The struggles in my life. I had so many struggles in my life. I had this mind in my head that finding that special person, it was finding the one. But I didn't realize that actually I had to be the one for me to find the one. And I had the struggles in my life, and my parents as well. They're divorced, but I have a good relationship with my step parents and my parents. But when I was looking at my relationship, I was finding the right person, and the relationship will last for 9 years, 8 years, and then that would be it. So the struggles that I have had myself, it had to make me want to investigate it further. So I got into psychology, and then I had to actually get Paul McKenna's program. Basically, my interest was to find out how does a human think? How do women think? What is the reason why we enter relationships? What do we have to behave there? So I found out that if I want to have a good relationship, I need to enter the spirit of love.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to become the one.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of finding the one. So if I become the one, then I'm gonna attract the one.
Right. Love
Yes.
it, love it. And how do you how does your business work? How are you getting clients? Is it do you do online marketing as well? So is it mostly offline referrals? How do you and the second thing is, with your events, is it just individual type of meetings, or do you host actual events as well too?
I do host events, but events is like, for me, is speaking, like personal development, helping people that wants to find love. I don't hold the events like dating events and stuff. It's dating events, but specific for just to teach people how to connect, how to find love. But I do marketing online. And when I do meet people online, I have to meet them face to face, and then ID verified, and then I verify them. Then after I meet them, then we get on with work. I have to go on a date with them, a mini date with them. If they fit what I'm looking for, because I'm not just looking for a beautiful woman. I'm looking for what's on the inside of that beautiful woman. I'm not looking for a man who is rich, although my clients are high-end clients. I'm looking for a man that is going to treat my women beautifully, because I need a good man. What's on the inside of that man? That's what I'm interested in. So that's why I have to interview them and basically understand and check if they have any history of abuse or anything, or alcoholic or anything. Basically, when I meet them, as soon as they register with my agency, when I meet them, I already know their history, but then I have to find out if they fit the criteria of the agency. Because I need somebody who is ready to date, emotionally ready, who is looking for a serious relationship. So I find that when I'm talking to them, and that's why men, I have to go to their homes and sit down with them in there, they're comfortable. And then before we go on a date.
Now, how did you come to the realization that you could actually build a business out of this and actually help others with this skill?
It was actually, I went on a date with a man when I was, because when I finished psychology, when I was ready to date, I went online. So now I had to realize that I had found what I've been looking for, which is the real Nomsa within me. So I just thought, okay, let me match myself. So when I was matching men, I was actually interviewing men without them knowing. So I went on a date with this rich guy. So I started interviewing them, and then he set up a second date. So on that second date, I thought it was going to be a date, but it was going to be a business, a proposal. So when I met him, he had all the rules and the regulations regarding matchmaking. And he was like, have you ever heard of matchmaking? I was like, no. And he was like, here's the business for you. You asked me the questions that no women have ever asked me, but you didn't make me feel like you were interviewing me. You were very playful. And after I went home, I thought about this, how you were asking me questions. So I just thought, here's the business for you. And I was like, what? And he was like, yes. He had done all the research for me. The file, he was a big file. And he was like, everything, I've got everything for you.
Hang on. So just like, so you said you were trying to, when you got done, you said with your training, you went to dating, and then you met the guy?
Yes, I met the guy. So he gave me this business. So I just ignored his business. So I kept matching myself online. I took everything, and then I went home and I forgot all about it. It was there. I kept looking at the files, and I was chatting to him, and he was like, you'll be a good matchmaker.
So was he a matchmaker as well too? Or was he a matchmaker as well too?
No, he had his own business, but he said to me, Nomsa, I just like you. You are bonkers, basically. And I was like, why do you think I'm bonkers? He was like, basically, you know exactly what you want. So you were asking me questions, looking for exactly what you want, but at the same time, you made me feel at home. You made me feel that I was welcome into your heart. But I don't think I can date you. You are too smart for me. So, and then after I matched myself in that journey online, but I didn't meet my man online. I met him in town when I was out one night. After I matched myself, that's when I realized, actually, when I met my man, he was like, actually, when we started dating 3 months later, he looked at me, he was like, you're actually not fake. You're actually bonkers. You made me know the real you. Because before, what I would do is I'll try to put a personality that is not me. I'll try to let men get to know the decent Nomsa that I believe that people should know. But I love sports. I love music. I love singing. I love to dance. And those were the things that I wouldn't show people, or I love to smile. And when I'm dating someone, I will just shut down and let them believe that I was that innocent, beautiful princess, whatever they call it. But I'm not like that.
Awesome. So now, how did it start? How did you say, okay, now, because you said the guy, he gave you the file, he said, this is what you should be doing. How did you start helping others? What was your first experience of saying, okay, how did a friend come to you? How did it happen?
He actually came back again and he said, have you thought about the business? And at that moment, when we were talking, I've realized that this is the gift that I have, because I've been helping my friends as well without me realizing. You know, when you are surrounded by friends and you are busy helping them with their marriage, and they come and tell you that this is what I'm going through, and I'm listening to them, and I'm thinking, but this is a problem that needs you to think, to actually serve, to learn to serve somebody instead of being all about me. So when I try to help my friends, because even before I trained to be a psychologist, I was always been like that. But you know, when you live in a different world that you don't know, and then I was like, okay, this is time for me to actually help somebody and earn money.
Yeah.
So that's when I've decided I match my friends and help them online dating sites for free. Then I then decided to actually, I think I'm gonna set up a business.
Now, is it with matchmakers? I've seen individuals who are matchmakers as well. So I've never really understood how it worked. Is it like would you say that it's a big need in terms of matchmaking?
Is that what, sorry?
Is it a big need? A lot of people, because how does with matchmaking, the way it works is like, as you said, you meet your clients in person, right?
Yes.
And you kind of have to go through. Why do you find, what's the biggest reason why someone needs a matchmaker? Why would you say?
It's because, you know, nowadays people they lead a busy life. No one has time to go out. People go to the pubs, but it's actually, it's not easy to find the right people. It will be easy if we all communicate, but nowadays people, they are very busy, they don't communicate, and some people, they work long hours. If you have a business, people, they travel a lot, they don't have time, and when they go out, it's actually because of, if you have a title, it's difficult to find someone that is looking for, that is real, that is true, that is looking for true love. Some people, they are looking for, they're gold diggers, they're looking for money. But for me as a matchmaker, if someone comes to me and pay me and tell me their pain and say, I'm willing to pay you, to hire you, to headhunt for me. So I have time to interview people. I have time to see who is actually looking for love, who is not looking for love. And I've had people that are married, they register to my agency. And then once they hear the rules, once I speak to them that I need to see your identity, and we need to meet up, I need to check if you are who you say you are, they disappear. So there is a need for people to use the matchmaking, and also online. It's not very easy on the dating side to find the right people. I was there, it's a nightmare.
Okay. And how does it work as well too? Do you keep like a database? Do you have like a full, let's say someone says, okay, I want you to, I want to work with you or something. Do you already have individuals already pre-screened in your system that you kind of go through and introduce them to? Do you go find new individuals? How does that typically work?
Yes, I have women registering every day, basically, for me to put them on my database. And I take men for free as well and put them on my database. And I have paid clients as well that I put on my database. So when someone comes in, because I cover Europe, Brazil, South Africa, Kenya, and Zambia. So when someone comes in, they tell me what they're looking for. I can either, sometimes I've already have maybe 1,000 women in my database. Sometimes I might not have a match for them, but then that's when I have to headhunt for them to find a match, because when it comes to matchmaking, everything is specific.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be specific.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. That's interesting. I've never really, this is my first time having a conversation with an actual matchmaker, so I'm really not sure. I wasn't
Yes,
too,
it's very, very specific. The lifestyle is very important. Family values, everything is very, very important. When you go to a matchmaker, you don't lie about what you're looking for. You can lie when you are first starting to have a conversation, but somehow I get the truth, what exactly you are looking for. So let's say you are a black man. You don't want, maybe you don't want to date a black woman, or you just want a white woman, or you just want to date a black woman and let's say Indian girl. You come and you are very, very specific to say, Nomsa, this is what I'm looking for.
mm-hmm.
As long as it's not a fantasy. There's a real life and a fantasy. So I met you based on your desires. This is what I'm looking for. You describe the height, and then everything. You have to be an open book when you meet a matchmaker.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Do you have a team as well, or is it just yourself?
I do have a team. I do have coaches that I work with. Because sometimes if I have lots of clients, somebody has to coach them. So I refer them to the coaches. They help them. Then we have recruiters as well to recruit clients.
Mm-hmm. Love it. And if someone wanted to find out more about your services and reach out, what's the best way for them to do so?
They can go to my website, www.hseia.com. And then they fill out an application form, or they can just get in touch with me. There's a phone number on the website. All my details are on the website, or social media, and everywhere. They can get in touch with me, and then we do a Zoom call as well first before we meet, for me to understand if when we are doing a Zoom call, that's where we are forging a relationship. Basically, they are deciding if they can work with me. I'm deciding if I can work with them. So it works both sides.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So the best ways for your website, as far as all the details, everything they would need to connect, is on there?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And guys, if you're watching this interview as well, whether it's on the replay or on the live, the links to connect with Nomsa, they will either be right above or below this video, so you could click on and get connected right to her. Well, hey Nomsa, hey, thank you so much for making the time to be here today and sharing what it is that you do. Really appreciate it. Do you have any final thoughts before we end?
Thank you so much for having me. For anyone who is watching, if they're single and they're in a relationship and they don't know what to do, so what I would say is enter into the spirit of love. It's very, very important to enter into the spirit of love, and with the mind of serving. If you enter with the mind of serving, if you are with a man, say, King, how can I serve you? Or your queen, how can I serve you? Then you'll be able to have that loving and fulfilling relationship. And also wear your authentic coat, not the fake one. Be the person you are always known yourself to be not expected by your parents or community or anyone. And then in that way, you have a beautiful relationship if you know who you are.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for making the time to be here today. Really appreciate it. And we'll be in touch, okay?
Thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate it.
Awesome.